Have you ever wondered when humans first realized we all die? Not just noticing a body stop moving, but truly understanding what death means. The answer takes us back further than almost anyone expects. And one of the biggest facts about it was recently proven wrong. This is the strange, twisted story of how ancient humans discovered death. Animals react to death. Elephants linger near their dead. Chimps carry dead infants. But reacting isn't the same as understanding. Understanding death means grasping that it's permanent, that it comes for everyone, even you. So when did that awareness first appear in our family tree? For decades, scientists assumed only large-brained humans were capable of it. Big brain, they thought, meant big thoughts, including thoughts about mortality. Then, deep in a South African cave system, that assumption cracked. The cave is called Rising Star. Getting inside means squeezing through tunnels barely wide enough for a body. Inside, researchers found something that shouldn't have been there. The remains of a species called HomoNaledi, with a brain roughly a third the size of ours. HomoNaledi bodies weren't scattered randomly. They were placed in pits, deliberately dug into the cave floor. Nearby, the cave walls held carved engravings, geometric shapes, deliberately made. Scientists believe these markings were connected to the bodies buried below them. If that's true, this may be the oldest known burial in the entire human story. And it wasn't done by smart humans at all. Small-brained relatives did it first. That discovery rewrote a core assumption. Big brains weren't required to grasp death. Emotional connection, it turns out, might be older than complex technology. But the HomoNaledi story isn't the only one that got rewritten. There's another, even more famous case, and its proof fooled scientists for over 60 years. It happened in a cave most people have never heard of, in the mountains of northern Iraq. The cave is called Shanidar. In the 1950s, archaeologist Ralph Solecki began digging there. He uncovered something remarkable: the skeletons of Neanderthals buried deep within the cave. One skeleton in particular would become world famous. Scientists labeled him Shanidar 4. Beneath his remains, researchers found something unexpected: clumps of ancient pollen. Not just any pollen, pollen from several different flowering plants clustered together. Solecki's conclusion made headlines around the world. Neanderthals had buried their dead with flowers. It became known as the flower burial, proof that Neanderthals grieved, just like us. For generations, this story reshaped how we saw Neanderthals entirely. No longer brutish cavemen, but beings capable of love, ritual, and mourning. Textbooks repeated it. Documentaries dramatized it. It became one of archaeology's most beloved stories. There was just one problem. Nobody had fully tested whether it was actually true. Then, in 2023, a team of researchers went back to Shanidar Cave to check. They studied the pollen using techniques Solecki never had access to, and what they found quietly shattered a 60-year-old story. The pollen clumps didn't match how pollen behaves when whole flowers are placed somewhere. Real flower burials leave pollen scattered in patterns tied to specific blooming seasons. But this pollen was mixed, species that don't even flower at the same time of year. That meant no one could have laid all those flowers down in a single moment. So researchers looked for another explanation, and they found one, right in the cave floor. Burrows, small cylindrical tunnels dug by solitary bees nesting in the sediment. Bees collect pollen and pack it into their nests as they dig underground. Some of those burrows sat almost directly beneath where Shanidar 4 was found. The likely truth? Bees had nested in the soil long after, or even during, burial. The flowers that rewrote Neanderthal history may have simply been ancient bee nests. It's a strange twist. For decades, an insect quietly authored a human origin story. So does this mean Neanderthals didn't care about their dead at all? Not quite. The burial itself is still real. Bodies were deliberately placed in the cave. What's gone is just the specific detail of flowers laid in tribute. The bigger truth survives. Something in Neanderthals treated death differently than instinct alone. But the pollen story is a reminder. Even settled ancient history can quietly unravel. And Shanidar isn't the only site holding unanswered questions. In Spain, at a site called Cima de los Huesos, the Pit of Bones, researchers found the remains of at least 28 individuals dumped down a 13-meter shaft. Among thousands of bones, they found exactly one tool, a hand axe, nicknamed Excalibur. It was carved from red quartz that doesn't naturally occur anywhere nearby. No cut marks, no signs of practical use, just placed there. Some researchers believe it was left as a deliberate offering to the dead, and strangely, the bones in that pit skew almost entirely toward young adults, no infants, no elderly, a detail nobody has fully explained. So the truth is, we didn't just discover when death was understood. We're still discovering it now. Subscribe. We're uncovering the next mystery next week.